My boyfriend shattered my phone because a homeless guy gave me a flower. Part 1. It was supposed to be a special night. My birthday was just hours away, and I was walking home with my boyfriend, feeling excited. We passed by a group of homeless people, and one of them, out of nowhere, handed me a flower. It wasn't much. It was a dead flower, but the gesture felt meaningful to me. It was almost midnight, so it felt like a unique little gift from the universe. I thanked the man and continued walking, not thinking much of it. But as I pulled out my phone to take a video of the flower and share the moment with my friend, my boyfriend suddenly tried to snatch the phone out of my hand. I laughed, thinking he was just joking around, but his expression remained serious. He didn't say a word, so I shrugged it off and pulled out my phone again. This time, he hit my hand hard, making me drop my phone onto the concrete. The screen shattered. I screamed, asking why he did that, and then he grabbed the flower from me and threw it into the street. He said I deserved it for embarrassing him in front of other men. I was in shock. I couldn't understand why he was so angry over a simple gesture from a stranger, especially one who wasn't trying to cause any harm. I felt tears well up, not just because my phone was broken, but because he had taken something that felt special to me and destroyed it. He made me delete the video I had taken of the flower right there in front of him, and we walked the rest of the way home in silence. When we got back, I finally exploded. I was crying, screaming, asking him why he'd ruined my night like that, just an hour before my birthday. He tried to justify his actions by saying that if a woman had given him a flower in front of me, I would have been upset too. I told him that if it had been the same homeless man we'd seen many times before, I wouldn't have minded. But he called me a liar and accused me of trying to invalidate his feelings, claiming I'd disrespected him in front of other men. It didn't make any sense to me. How was accepting a flower from a homeless man disrespectful? It was dead, for God's sake. I wasn't planning on keeping it. I just thought it was a sweet gesture, especially right before my birthday. We ended the night without speaking, and the next morning, he was gone. I spent my birthday trying to enjoy brunch with friends, but the whole incident was in the back of my mind. His siblings wished me a happy birthday, but he didn't. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to lose my boyfriend over a flower. Part 2. After days of not speaking, he showed up with my favorite flowers and a letter. He apologized for what he'd done, admitting that he had acted immaturely. He promised it wouldn't happen again and suggested we work on better communication. Honestly, I just wanted things to go back to normal, so I accepted his apology. He even swore he'd never make me cry again. And for a while, it seemed like he meant it. He was better than ever, more attentive, more loving. He even opened up about his past in ways he never had before, crying in my arms and professing his love. It felt like we were growing closer. To celebrate my birthday, we went to the beach with his friends. It was just me and 5 guys, which I didn't think was a big deal until he pulled me aside, furious that I was wearing a bikini. He accused me of looking like a hoe in front of his friends. I reminded him that we were at the beach, and that's what people were at the beach. But he wouldn't let it go. He said I was making myself look bad by being the only girl there, and accused one of his friends of wanting to sleep with me. He got more aggressive as the day went on, and I ended up leaving early because I didn't want anyone to see me crying. That night, when he came over to talk, I thought we'd be able to work things out. But as we talked, it became clear we were just going in circles. He accused me of trying to get attention, and I felt like I was walking on eggshells. When he tried to initiate S*X, I refused, and he called me an annoying bitch under his breath. That was the final straw. I kicked him out and broke up with him. He didn't take it well. He cried, screamed, and even punched a wall in my room. I was terrified. I never thought he could be that way. He only left when I threatened to call the police. After he was gone, I blocked him. I tried to focus on all the reasons I needed to move on, but it was hard. All I could think about were the good times, the promises he made, the love he showed me. I started to wonder if I had done something wrong, if this could have all been avoided if I hadn't accepted that flower in the first place. Part 3. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I went back to him one more time. It started as just sex, but eventually, we decided to try again to do things right. We set boundaries. No yelling, no cursing, no hitting, no going through each other's stuff. He even agreed to go to therapy, and for a while, it seemed like things were going to be okay. But then he found my original post about the flower incident on TikTok and accused me of exaggerating everything. He called me a liar and dismissed my feelings because he was embarrassed. We ended up screaming at each other on the phone. He came over, brought my stuff, and broke up with me, hurling insults the whole time. Before he left, he broke my MacBook. I'm done now. I know he's not good for me, and I'm glad it's over. It's hard to accept that he was manipulating me, that what I thought was love was actually control. I've learned a lot about what love bombing is, and I realize now that's what he was doing. I'm trying to stay single for a while, to figure out what went wrong and to make sure I never end up in a situation like this again. Thank you to everyone who helped me see the truth. It's not easy, but I know I'm better off without him.